Welcome back friends in one more video on measures of central tendency, and in this video we will discuss mode, and this is the first part of this video lecture. Mode is one of the most important or popular measures of central tendency along with mean and median. The mode is the number that appear most frequently in the data set. This is the value of the variable at which the curve reaches a maximum limit, therefore it is the value around which the item tend to be the most heavily assembled. A set of number may have one mode or unimodal. It may also have two modes or bimodal or even more than two modes as in multimodal. And sometimes there is no mode at all. The term mode was derived from the French word la mode, which means fashion. Because mode is the most fashionable or typical value of a distribution, it is repeated the highest number of times in the series. The term mode was introduced by Carl Pearson in 1895. In statistics, data are distributed in various ways. The most often cited distribution is the classic normal or bell curve distribution. In this and some other distribution, the mean or average value fall at the midpoint, which is also the peak frequency of observed value. In such distribution, mean, mode and median all have same value. For example, if we want to calculate the mean, mode and median of the following data set, as we can see, 6 is repeated the maximum time, which is 4. Therefore, mode will be 6. As well as if we will calculate mean and median, it will also come 6. Similarly, in example 2, we can see 17 have maximum or highest frequency, which is 15. Therefore, mode of this data set will be 17. As well as if we will calculate mean and median, it will also come 17. For normal distribution, therefore, mode will be equal to median and mean. If the data are of skewed distribution, the value of these measures will be different. In a positively skewed distribution, the mode is at the highest point and the median lies to the right of this point, but the mean falls to the right of the median. However, in a negatively skewed distribution, the mode is at the highest point and the median here lies to the left of this point, but the mean falls to the left of the median. In a positively skewed distribution, value of mean is maximum and mode is minimum. Whereas in negatively skewed distribution, value of mode is maximum and mean is minimum. Median will always lie in between mode and mean, no matter whether distribution is positively or negatively skewed. However, frequency of mode will be the always maximum compared to other two measures. If we want to calculate the mean, mode and median of the following data set, here we can see 150 have the maximum frequency, that is 15. Therefore, mode will be the 150. However, median will be 130 and mean will be 126.1364 for this data set. Therefore, it is a negatively skewed distribution. Mode will be always more than median and median will be always more than mean. If we want to calculate the mean, mode and median of the following data set in next example, here we can see the maximum frequency is of 140, which is 20. Therefore, mode will be 140, and if we will calculate median and mean, it will come 160 and 170.2 respectively. Therefore, for positively skewed distribution, mode is minimum followed by median and maximum value will be of mean. If we want to calculate the mode value for the following data set in next example, here we can see that 8 and 6 both have same number of frequencies and they are repeated 4 times. Therefore, this kind of data set is known as bimodal distribution, and mode of this data set will be 6 and 8 both. And here if we want to calculate the mode value for the following data set, if we will see, we will find that there is no value is repeating. Therefore, we can say there is no mode at all. And in the next example, If we want to see the mode value for the following data set, here we can see the value 13, 15, 19, 21 and 25 all have the maximum frequency, that is 11. Therefore, such kind of distribution is known as multimodal frequency distribution. In statistic, for a moderately skewed distribution, there exists a relationship between mean, median and mode, and this relationship is known as empirical relationship. In case of moderately skewed distribution, the difference between mean and mode is always equal to 3 times the difference between the mean and median. Thus, the empirical mean, median and mode relationship is given as mean minus mode is always equal to 3 times of difference between mean and median, or we can say mode is equal to 3 median minus 2 mean. Let's take an example where in a moderately skewed distribution, the median is 20 and mean is given 22.5. Using these values, we have to find the approximate value of the mode. After putting all these values in formula mode equal to 3 median minus 2 mode, we can calculate that mode is 15 in this problem. Advantages of mode. Mode is very easy to understand and calculate, and it is not affected by extreme value. The mode is easy to identify in a data set and is discrete frequency distribution. We can also use mode for qualitative data, whereas mode can be computed in an open-ended frequency table as well as where the distribution is not equal. The mode can be located graphically as well. There is a special practicality of mode. The concept of mode as a measure of central tendency is preferable to mean or median when it is desired to know the most typical value. For example, the most common size of shoes, the most common size of ready-made garments, the most common size of income, the most common size of pocket expenditure of a college student, the most common size of a family in a locality, the most common duration of cure of viral fever, the most popular candidate in an election, etc. Let's understand it with this example. If Mr. X is a shoemaker and he wants to export his shoe in Lilliput, he got permission from government of Lilliput, but he can export only any one size of shoes. Based on the following data set, we have to help Mr. X to decide the size of shoes he should make to export them. For this kind of data set, if we will use mean or median, we will lie somewhere in between 6 and 7. But in that case, our sale will be either 31,000 or 21,000 of shoes. But if we are using mode, we can directly see that the shoe size of 3 is having the maximum population over there. Therefore, Mr. X should make shoes of 3 number only, and by doing this he can sell maximum number of shoes in Lilliput. There are some disadvantages of mode as well. The mode is not defined when there are no repeats in a data set. The mode is not based on all values. It cannot be algebraically treated. The mode is unstable when the data consists of a small number of values, and sometimes data have one mode, more than one mode, or no mode at all, that we have already studied. Sometimes the exact value of the model class cannot be known by inspection of data. Therefore, it is necessary to prepare the grouping table and then an analysis table to find out the model class. Till now, we were calculating the model value in an individual series or a discrete series. Now we will learn how to calculate mode in a continuous series. When the data under consideration is grouped into class interval, mode can be determined by using a formula, but only if the classes are of equal width. First, identify the model class. The model class is defined as that class interval which has the highest frequency. Then we can calculate the mode using the following formula. We can use any one of these two formulas, where L stands for lower limit of the model class, I stands for size of the class interval, F1 is the frequency of the model class, F0 is the frequency of the class preceding the model class, F2 is the frequency of the class succeeding to the model class, or we can also say that delta 1 is the difference between the frequency of the model class and the frequency of the preceding the model class, whereas delta 2 is the difference between the frequency of the model class and the frequency of the succeeding or model class. But for both the formula we have to ignore the sign. Here you can assume that when f1 is maximum, why this point is emphasizing to ignore sign, as it is going to be always positive. But my dear friends, you will understand the importance of this sign in next video when we will use grouping method for determination of mod. Let's take an example where we have to calculate the model value in a continuous series, and in this example income of 40 employees of a company is given below and we have to calculate the mod value. First we have to find out the model class, which is the class with maximum frequency, and here we can see the 9 is the maximum frequency and the class is 1000 to 1500. Therefore L, or the lower limit of the model class, is 1000 over here. I, the size of the class interval, will be 500. F1 is the frequency of the model class, which is 9. F0 is the frequency of the class preceding the model class, that is 7. F2 is the frequency of the class succeeding to the model class, that is 8. And if we will put all these values in this formula, we can calculate the mod, and after putting all these values, we can find out that the mod for this distribution is 1333.33. Let's take one more example where from the data of weight of 1000 students we have to determine their model weight. Again, first we have to find out the model class with maximum frequency, and here we can see that 320 is the maximum frequency of 60 to 70 body weight. Therefore L will be 60, I will be 10, F1 will be 320, F0 will be 270, F2 will be 170, and after putting all these values in this mod wave formula, we can find out, or we can calculate easily, that mod value for this distribution is 62.5. Let's take one more example where we have to calculate the mod value for the plant height in following data set. First we can see that this is not equal class interval. Therefore first we have to make adjustment of the frequency to make equal class interval, and this is the final distribution of number of grain and the number of plant based on their equal class interval. Now we can find out the model class, or which have the maximum frequency, and that is 27 over here, and here L will be the 40, I will be 10, F1 will be 27, F0 will be 20, and F2 will be 70. After putting all these values in this data set, we can find out that the mod value for this distribution will be 44. Here you will have to remember that while readjusting, you have to distribute the frequency equally. Like earlier it was 20 to 40 and the total frequency was 40, and when we are making it 20 to 30 and 30 to 40, we have to distribute this 40 in two equal parts, that is 20 and 20. Let's take one more example, and in this example we have to calculate the mod value for plant height in following data set. If we will see the class with maximum frequency to find out our model class, unfortunately we will find two different class intervals, 10 to 20 and 30 to 40. Both have maximum frequency, that is 22. Now what is next? To calculate the mod value in such bimodal or multimodal distribution, we have to use a new method which is known as grouping method, and that method will be covered in the next part of this video. Till then, like and share this video, press the bell icon to subscribe my channel. Thank you. Jai Hind. Bye bye.